made you re-examine your whole life? Well, it's a regular occurrence for me. Hi, I'm Maria, or at least that's what I think my name is. Like and subscribe, and I'll tell you the nitty-gritty details of doubting everything that comes out of your parents' mouths. Okay, so picture this. I'm a typical teenager, just trying to navigate through life, but my parents, gosh, they lie about everything. They lied about the time and the day of the week. Mom, can I play outside? It's 2 a.m. and it's a school night. It's time you went to bed. That's not true. It's noon and it's Saturday.
Listen to your mother and go to sleep.
They lied to the landlord about the rent.
Oh, we sent the check yesterday. It must have gotten lost in the mail.
They lied to the neighbors about where they were from. Oh, how I miss my childhood summers in Vermont. I thought you said you grew up in Philadelphia. And if that wasn't strange enough, they hated security cameras and despised taking pictures. When I was 10, I begged Mom to take me to an amusement park. We were waiting in line for a ride when this couple next to us started posting selfies. Dad freaked out that we were showing in their pictures, snatched the man's camera out of his hands, and smashed it to pieces. The couple got really mad and called security. Dad picked me up and threw me over his shoulder. Then he and Mom raced toward the exit. On the ride home, I was so mad. You ruined my birthday. I didn't even get to go on any rides.
Those rides were lame anyway.
Once every other year, we'd move for some stupid reason. I lost my job again. They said they didn't like the way I style my hair.
Oh, that's a shame, honey. But they do have a point. You look like a peacock. Maybe we can move to San Francisco.
What? Are you serious? That's almost 3,000 miles away. 3,000 miles? Oh, that's perfect.
Pack your bags, Maria. We leave tomorrow.
With all the moving around, I had trouble making friends. Every time I grew close to a neighbor or a classmate, I had to say goodbye, and it was the worst. But the summer before my freshman year in high school, I'd had enough. I'm not moving.
Don't be silly. We're leaving next week.
Not this time, and you can't make me. I'm going on strike. I won't brush my teeth or take a shower or let anyone in this house get any sleep. My parents thought I was joking, but I was dead serious. I ran around the neighborhood and got so stinky and sweaty that my mom almost fainted when I sat beside her. I stayed up all night singing the most annoying songs right in Dad's face. Eventually, they gave in and agreed to stay put for a while. I was so excited, but there was one big problem. I just had a growth spurt, so none of my clothes fit very well. I asked my parents for money to get some new clothes, and my mom said she'd take care of it. She came back with a box of secondhand clothes filled with oversized shirts and stretchy pants. Mom, these clothes won't work. They're one size fits all. They'll be just fine. But Mom couldn't have been more wrong. The pants were too short, the shirts were too big, and all the kids at school laughed at me. One boy laughed so hard he fell off his chair. I was so embarrassed that I ate lunch alone in the hallway. Then this girl, dressed like she was a forest fairy, waltzed up to me. I swear I saw a baby bird peeking from under her thick wavy hair. I'm Hannah, and I can see your aura. My what now? Your celestial body. It's pink with red polka dots. I have a special gift. I can see the future and otherworldly things. No way. She waved her hands in the air like a crazy person, stared off into the distance, then pulled a watch out of her pocket and put it on her forehead. Oh yes, I understand. Who are you talking to? Shh, the timekeeper is speaking. No, she has spoken. And she told me that we are destined to be best friends forever. Hannah spread her arms and grinned at me. She gave me a huge bear hug, and to my surprise, she was right. After that day, we were inseparable. Hannah swore she was a psychic, and she loved to show off. I've had a vision. Mr. Miller will wear pants today. But Mr. Miller wears pants every day. Most of her visions and predictions were really just lucky guesses, but she swore she had a gift. One time, she told me the most outrageous thing. You see that boy over there? She pointed at Bryce, a football player and the cutest boy in school. Yeah, you two are going to fall in love and get married. I laughed in her face. That will never happen. If you haven't noticed, he is the most popular boy in school, and he only dates cheerleaders and models. Trust me, you'll see. I had to admit that the thought of me and Bryce together was nice, but he was totally out of my league. He was surrounded by the prettiest girls in school, and the couple times he did say hi to me, I had spinach in my teeth and accidentally dropped my notebook on his foot because I was so nervous. One day, Hannah dragged me to a carnival to meet her favorite psychic, Madame Bling, in a dusty old tent. She had a crystal ball and a nose ring, and she smelled like mothballs. How can I help you, girls? We're here to discover our destiny and learn our place in the universe. Madame Bling rubbed her crystal ball and started mumbling gibberish. Then she looked up at Hannah. You, Hannah, are meant for extraordinary things. You'll spend your life traveling the world as a famous healer." Then Madame Bling turned to me. She gave me a strange look. "Secrets swirl around you. Nothing is what it seems." I was totally confused, and to be honest, she was freaking me out. "Okay, I'm leaving now." The woman grabbed my arm and held it tight. "Your parents weave a web of lies. Danger lurks around the corner. The only thing that will set you free is the truth." Then she scribbled the name Shapiro on a piece of paper and put it on the table. "That will be $20, please." Hannah paid the woman, and I raced out of there. That was so cool. I'm going to be famous. Oh, sorry about that stuff about your parents. That night I couldn't sleep. I tossed and turned as Madame Bling's warning played over and over in my mind. Sure, my parents were liars, but I never told anyone about it, not even Hannah. How could Madame Bling have known? And what did she mean about danger around the corner? The next morning, I told my parents all about Madame Bling and Shapiro, and to my surprise, they burst out laughing. "This isn't a joke." They looked at me like I was crazy.
Oh, sweetie. I'm sorry that old woman took your money. She's a con artist. Can't believe a word she says.
We'd never lie to you. Do you think I'm some kind of idiot? You've been lying to me and everyone else for years. You're not feeling well. You should go lie down. Everything will be fine after you've had some rest.
Or maybe you need a change of scenery.
Let's move.
Great idea.
My blood boiled. I couldn't take it anymore. I stormed out the door without another word. I'd never get the truth out of them. And now they were suggesting moving again? The last thing I wanted was to leave Hannah or my new school. I had to stop them and their lies once and for all, so I asked Hannah for help. "Stand back, I'll get you your answers." Hannah stood on her head and started squealing like a pig. "What are you doing?" "It's a new technique that I just learned. I'm speaking to the earth. Hold on a sec." Hannah lost her balance, fell, and sprained her ankle. The nurse sent her home for the rest of the day. I was on my own. After school, I went to the library and searched online for the name Shapiro. I didn't want to use my laptop at home and risk having my parents finding out about this. I spent hours sifting through tons of data until I found something insane. A picture of my dad when he was younger with some big-time gangster. I clicked the photo and found a dozen articles about a huge court case where my dad was a major witness. But the weirdest thing was that Dad had a totally different name. Dad was the gangster's accountant, and the news articles said that he knew all the gangster's secrets. He made a deal with the government to testify so he wouldn't go to jail. But days before the trial, Dad went on the run. Now, Dad was a wanted man, and there was a warrant out for his arrest. I was shocked. All the lying and the moving made sense. The danger Madame Bling warned me about was real. It was dark when I left the library, and the moment I stepped on the sidewalk, I saw two strange men staring at me. I picked up pace and turned the corner, but they were still behind me. I started running as fast as I could, and then I bumped straight into Bryce. His chest was as solid as a brick wall. My heart fluttered as I looked into his dreamy eyes. Yeah, pathetic. Typical damsel in distress. So embarrassing.
Hey, are you okay?
Those guys, I think they're following me. Bryce took one glance at the huge men. The next thing I knew, we were surrounded. Bryce grabbed a math book I was holding and hurled it at one of the men. The book hit the man hard in the head, and he fell back onto the other guy. Bryce grabbed my hand, and we ran. We raced down the street, turned a corner, then ran inside a diner filled with people. The scary men stopped at the door. Bryce stared straight at the men. He had a big smirk on his face. "Why are we just standing there? We have to keep moving. They'll catch us."
Haven't you ever seen an action movie? The bad guys can't do their dirty work in public places. Too many witnesses.
Bryce was right. The scary men looked at all the people, then they turned and walked away.
Why were those guys after you?
I don't know.
I think you're lying, but that's okay. You can tell me when you're ready.
I wanted to tell Bryce the truth, but I wasn't sure if I could trust him. I'd seen way too many MSA videos where the cute boy turns bad and double-crosses the naive and sweet main character. Bryce walked me home, but when I got there, my parents were gone. I tried to call them, but they didn't answer. I started to panic. Something's not right.
Should we call the police?
My dad was a wanted man. Getting the police involved would only make things worse. I can't. Then I spotted a black SUV turn onto the street. One of the men that was chasing us was driving. Bryce pulled me into the bushes.
I'll distract them while you go somewhere safe.
Why are you doing this?
If we get out of this alive, I'm going to take you to see an action movie.
I blushed. Really? Bryce winked at me, then ran toward the SUV, waving his arms like a maniac. While Bryce distracted the men, I ran the other way and headed straight to Hannah's house, who was home alone. "You look horrible, and your aura is gray with zigzag stripes. What's wrong?" I told Hannah all about my parents, the scary guys, parents and how Bryce saved me. Bryce, you say? Yes, weren't you listening? Wow, my prediction came true. Did you kiss him? Have you fallen in love yet? Focus, Hannah. That's not important right now. My parents are missing. Then we heard a knock on the front door. We looked out of Hannah's window and saw my parents standing outside. They looked like they'd seen a ghost. I raced down the stairs as Hannah hobbled after me. I opened the door and my parents gave me the biggest hug. Oh, Maria, we were so scared. When you didn't come home, we went out looking for you.
We're so happy.